Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where the vino flows and the fandom grows. And while I feel like I earned my vino this evening, not near so much as my usual designated driver, Aged Boomer, it would seem. As most of you know, Boomer is in the path of Ian, and he's doing his civic duty, helping out others sheltering from the storm. And because of the flooding, he won't be getting back home for the foreseeable future. No electricity or internet, so he won't be joining us tonight. Let's all keep him in our thoughts and prayers. And speaking of Gone with the Wind, our special guest behind the bar tonight is a Sassy Southern belle who has a YouTube channel that really resonates with me. I've been wanting to get her on Last Call for drinks for a while now, and it's finally happening. Of course, I'm talking about Arwyn Avalon, a self-described wine-soaked member of the Boujie Boozers and the Boozers Council. And I've been known to imbibe a bit myself around here. So let's get to it. Top off your glasses and strap in. Here we go. And so, yeah, I was joking around a little bit, but yeah, I'm a little concerned about Boomer. So let's keep an eye out for him. I hope he's doing okay. So my usual bouncer is pulling double duty as my designated driver tonight. Let me welcome my lovely wife, Netter of Netter's Network. How you doing, sweetie, and what you sipping on?
I am doing wonderfully, and yeah, I don't usually get that asked to me because I'm not usually faced.
Yes.
But I am sipping on my
Diet Dr. Pepper. That's fair. That's fair. And I ask her this as if I can't just look around my monitor and see exactly what you're sipping on. we're sitting face to face. Yeah, exactly. And so as not to keep her waiting in the green room any longer than she absolutely has to, because let's face it, she's the guest. We want to see her. It's Arwyn Avalon. How you doing, my friend? And what you sipping on, as if I didn't already know?
Hey, y'all. I am drinking Barefoot Red Moscato. We're going red tonight. All red all night. Instead of my
There
normal
you
pink.
go. There you go. Representing the gingers. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I decided if I'm going to have a Boujie Boozer on, I had to be a little bit bougie myself. I'm having a brandy.
I love that glass, too. That glass is just...
Well, with brandy,
so
you want to, it's all about the smell, you know, and it just smells so good, and that the alcohol just kind of, you know, right there in the glass.
Is that the one that you take and you mix, you swirl?
Yeah, and there's people that take it a little too far. They like to light a lighter under it. You're not supposed to do that. It's just supposed to be the heat from your hand, you know. Okay. Otherwise, you're burning off the alcohol. I mean, you don't want to do that.
What's the point?
That's alcohol abuse, for crying out loud. You don't want that.
What's the point? Exactly. I love the smell of brandy, but I've never actually had it. One day.
You've had whiskey, right?
Yes, I have had whiskey.
It is a kind of whiskey. It's just a little bit.
Is it smoother? It seems like it would be.
It is smoother. It is smoother.
You know, more contemplative.
A little bit more of a alcohol tingle on the tongue.
Okay.
But it is a kind of whiskey. But it's very much smoother.
Okay, that'll work.
Which could get you into trouble, you know, if you like the taste.
If it's too smooth, I bet.
Right? I bet. Exactly. So, but it's a sipping drink. You don't take it down too fast. Let's start saying hi to the chat. First person I saw here was PJ of Orville Nation. He was hanging out with us over on Maria's channel, and he followed me over here. So good to see you, PJ. Always, we grow together.
Yes.
And he's excited. He says, Arwyn, cool. I said, well, I have to have cool guests on my channel or nobody would tune in. Matanui, always good to see you, my friend. Netter's dropping the hearts and saying her hi, sweeties, to everyone. Yeah. Deleted scenes, you were able to make it. I am so glad. I was a little bit concerned because, you're a little bit north of where Boomer's at, but you're still going to be getting hit pretty hard with that storm. Just stay safe. And that goes for you too, Big Al of Big Al Presents. I am presuming that we're going to be able to hang out tomorrow with you for the rewatch on Netter's channel. But, anyone that's in that, southeast area, I'm a little bit concerned about right now. So you take care of yourself too. And that brings us to Adega Outlaw.
I did.
Awesome author. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see
Love
you.
it.
And let me get caught up with the chat. John DeMarco, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And Geek Talk, Brandon G. How you doing, my friend? And all of you in the chat, what are you all sipping on? Let me know in the chat. And I will bring this back to our guest, Arwyn Avalon. Yes, so by all means, subscribe, follow. I was saying in the monologue, one of the things that really resonates with me is you like a good drink.
I do.
You like to have fun on your live streams. I feel like we're a little bit of kindred spirits. What do you think?
just a touch.
Oh.
And you know, it's funny because I went for like 15 years and I didn't drink a drop. Not one drop. No wine, nothing. But the floodgates are open now.
What corrupted you?
Valhalla.
Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. You know what corrupted me?
What?
That one right over there.
Oh, okay.
It was my 21st birthday. She took.
Oh.
Well, that's true. I was legal, but it was the first day I could legally drink, and she took me to Benihana, where
nice.
she ordered me sake and Tsingtao. Oh, Sapporo. I'm sorry. It was Sapporo.
It's Japanese, not Chinese.
Right. So beer and rice wine, and I got ripped.
Rice wine will do that to you.
I drank the whole file. The whole thing. I drank that down. Most of the bottle of Sapporo, right? Sapporo. Yeah. And
basically a Japanese Boilermaker.
I was so drunk. There was no way I could go home. I had to stay the night, and I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I ain't coming home. It would not be a good idea.
Oh, rice wine will sneak up on you in a heartbeat. It will. Yeah. It'll get in you, and it'll just, next thing you know, you're drunk, and then you got the worst hangover ever, and then you're like, oh my God, that was rice wine!
But that's just it. I didn't have a bad hangover. And
good for you.
I usually don't have a hangover. I am usually pretty good. Even, there have been a couple times I've even drunk so much I got sick, but I did not get hungover. So
you're a special breed.
I'm special, all right. At least that's what Netter says.
The alcohol that snuck up on him is we were out at a place called Jukebox Saturday Night. And we had some friends who were hanging out there and listening to the music and stuff. And he was having Jello shots. And he's like, why is Jello so expensive? Because he couldn't taste the alcohol.
I did not realize.
He had about 8 of those suckers.
I was so.
And he stood up and said, "Oh no," and sat right back down again.
Yup. Snuck right.
They will get. Yeah, they will. They will get you.
Absolutely.
But
so that's how we all got to first time enjoy our booze. What brought you to YouTube and got you to start streaming?
Wow. Well, back in 2017, my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I was his caretaker. He had a 2-year pronouncement, if you will, to live. And I know doctors don't like to do that. They don't like to, because they're not God. And our doctor actually told him that I'm not God, so I'm uncomfortable with saying definitely how long you have, but with your type of cancer and the treatment, we're looking at quality of life, not quantity. So the average person lives 2 years because he had stage 4 colon cancer from the time he was diagnosed.
Yeah.
Well, he lasted 3, and he did chemo for a year, and then he was done. He was like, you know what? I'm spending more time at the hospital or at the treatment center.
Yeah.
Just when I start feeling good again, then I got to turn around and do it all over again. And I don't have a quality of life.
Yeah.
He's like, all of my time is wrapped up in chemo. And they had to change his chemo because the one was working fine for a couple of months, and then he had allergic reaction to it. And they take that very seriously. And they were like, all right, we're going to put you on another one. And he had all these pills to take. And he was just like, I'm done. I'm done. And it was a hard decision, but this is what he wanted to do. And he presented it to me, and I had to become comfortable with it. So, and I talk about that on my channel. I talk about, everything that we went through. But anyway, yeah. So 3 years, February 3rd of 2020, he died. He passed away. And, our 25th wedding anniversary was that April 29th. And I kind of shut down for about a year and a half.
Don't blame you.
I was there for my kids as much as I could be, but every other aspect of my life came to a halt. I pretty much sat in a chair and I lived my life from a recliner, and that was it. Well, literally one day, I turned on YouTube because I watched a lot of cat videos, y'all. I did.
Speaking of which, who's the cute little fluff ball behind you there?
Oh, that's Starbuck.
Oh, hey, Starbuck.
Yeah, you may hear them running in and out. I have.
That's awesome.
Lot of cats, so just fair warning.
So it started with cat videos.
It did. I needed something aimless and mindless to just focus on, because I wasn't focusing on myself. I wasn't, my kids are older, and to their credit, they went through their own things with losing their dad, but to be fair, they handled it better than I did.
Yeah.
I guess they had, we had always talked about him passing, and it's like we prepared for it, but you can never really prepare for it when it actually
absolutely
happens. And he died at home. So, yeah. And then there was all that involved, and it just, anyway. But one day I came in and I was not watching pop culture channels. I didn't even know about pop culture channels. I mean, I knew about like Razor Fist. I knew about Steven Crowder. I knew more politically inclined channels.
Sure.
Because that's what my husband watched. So he kind of turned me on to those. But pop culture channels like, Neurotic and Geeks and Gamers and all that, I didn't know any of that. And one day, Loki's Morning of Mischief popped up in my recommendations.
Loki's awesome, yeah.
And I didn't know who the hell Loki was. I'm like, is this a guy Loki? Is this Marvel Universe Loki? What the hell is this Loki's Morning of Mischief? And he's got great thumbnails and the bright colors and the dragon. And I'm all about dragons. So I was like, what the hell? Go. Let me click on it. I'll click on it. I'm tired of cat videos. Sure. So I did. And I went in there and I noticed, because I had been to other communities' live streams before, and they were very cliquey, for lack of a better word. Not all of them, but most of them were, if you weren't a member, if you weren't in the know, no one would say hey to you. And I thought, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say hey and I'm going to get ignored. But whatever,
Sure.
No skin off my teeth. I'll go check it out. It's in my recommendations. Well, people started saying hey.
Yeah.
Mark the Infinitely Tired said hey. Larry said hey. And all of a sudden, all these people started saying hey to me. And I'm like, okay, well, hey. I'm Arwyn. Hey, y'all. And I listened to his stream, and I don't even remember what the hell he was talking about. I don't. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Loki's very engaging with his chat. He doesn't talk to you. He talks with you.
Yep. Yeah.
And I thought,
I love that about him.
That's kind of cool. So I'm like, and I left, and I didn't think about it until the next day. And I thought, let me check him out again. People seem pretty nice. They seem pretty cool. So I went again. And then again, and then again. And next thing I know, I was. And then I started discovering other channels. I discovered Mary's Game Room when Mark got tased. I was like, oh my God, I found my tribe. These people are batshit crazy and I love them.
Yep.
Got tased. I found FATS Seagal. He was doing B5 at the time, which, Babylon 5 is my favorite science fiction TV show ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So I found him. And then he was doing Fortnite, which I didn't know shit about Fortnite at the time. Now I do. I play it. But at the time, I thought, well, he does B5. Let me check out this funny guy who's also doing Fortnite.
Yep.
And I started meeting people. Purple Valkyrie, I started going to her channel. And people were responding to me, and I was starting slowly to make connections.
Yeah.
And it was bringing me out of this darkness and out of this shell. Because I mean, I really, I lost my lover and my best friend and my
exactly.
my husband of 25 years and the father of my children.
Right.
And I didn't really know who the hell I was. And I'm still learning who I am. I'm not the same person as I was before he died. I don't know who I'm becoming. And it sounds weird, but it's true. I started making connections. And then I just found all these channels. And then I got invited. I don't know why. I swear to God, I don't know why. But I got invited to stream different places. And I was like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell they want to hear from me, but I'm having fun. And then I got encouraged to make my own channel. Arwyn, you need to start your own channel. And I'm like, why? And they're like, just start your own channel. Start your own channel. I'm like, okay. So, I believe it was the 27th of September of last year, Pink and Purple on my channel. We launched our first show.
There you go.
And ever since then, I was guesting a lot before then too. At one point, I was doing 9 streams a week minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for months. I mean, I did that all the way through Christmas for months. And that's kind of how it just snowballed. And
I get it.
Here I am drinking wine really with you fine people.
There you go. I don't know if I've been on YouTube as long as you, but for us, it started in 2020. It started. Nanette and I were working for the same company, and we would on Fridays after work we would go to the bar just on the other side of the expressway, and we would go and have some drinks with our coworkers and decompress, really just bitch about our bosses and clients and, just get it off of our chest so we could go into the weekend kind of enjoying it,
Mm-hmm.
And, well, then the coof hit and there was a bunch of layoffs and we both lost our job. That's the downside of, married couple working at the same company.
In the same department.
In the same department.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so I decided, I missed that Friday going out for drinks with friends. And then, of course, the lockdowns and everything, we couldn't even get out.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I think what I want to do is I want to, just start, a stream where I could just get together with friends online and, have drinks and chat and chit chat and whatnot. And, have the chat is kind of like being in the bar, right? Where anyone can just walk up and start talking to you and say hi and whatnot. Yeah. And, and that's really how I ended up kind of getting social. Honestly, I was telling you, even in the green room to this day, I was also inspired by Ryan Rajarathe and his Rising Stars. I'm like, you know what? I said, this YouTube community is really getting to be a community. I think I want to do that too, but instead of, a pre-scripted Rising Stars type of video, which, is good content. I was like, I want to do it as a live stream. I'm going to have a different guest on every week and whatnot. I see you there, Joker Voice. He says he just wrapped up his stream. Yeah, there you go. So he's here, but he's not here just yet. And I'm going to be having him on next month.
Nice.
He's going to be in the studio. He's one of the people I've been slow to invite because for a while he was having busy Fridays, so it was getting to be really hard for him. But I was like, darn it, got to get him in here. I'll do a special stream on a different night if I have to. But he's going to be with us on a Friday night. But yeah, I was talking to of all people, those of you that tuned in last week, Michael of Retro Blasting, who was in the chat last week. Said he'd be willing to come on my channel. And I'm like, geez, this guy's almost 100,000 subscribers, but you know, and
Awesome.
I got a little fan giddy, you know. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have you on. So I sent him an email, and one of the things I was saying some of these same things about it, but I'm like, especially someone as big as him, he's big, he's popular enough that he gets a lot of the flack and a lot of the, you know, negativity and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? This is really what it's about. This community, this whatnot. You know, so many people. Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge has told me, he's like, don't worry about your numbers. If you're doing it because you want to get to 1,000, you want to get monetized and whatnot, you're just going to have a lot of work and disappointment. You know, do it because you're having fun.
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, I was like, yeah, this is what it's about. And if I don't get monetized, no problem. I'm still having fun. And if they take my monetization away from me, screw them. I don't care. That's not why I'm doing it, you know?
It makes a difference when you're having fun.
It does.
It makes a difference.
I just figure, you know, if I'm monetized, I can justify all the time I'm doing it. You know, I want to make money on my hobbies too, you know?
Of course. Yeah. Make that coin if you can.
Well, I say, as Nanette is always like, every time I make a custom action figure, she's like, hey, you could make these and sell these. And I'm like, but I don't want to.
At least like write up the directions on how to make them.
Yeah, and I do have some.
That's a good idea.
And I do have some videos coming out where I'm going to be showing off some of my work, and I think that's a good idea. I think that's what I'll do. I will, because some of what I do, I'm working from. You know, I got one right here. Just started this one. You can't see the detail, I'm sure, but that's Christopher Reeve's head. I'm doing a Superman. Nice. And I had Laboratory of Mayhem. Oh shoot, drawing a blank here. Andy Masterson. Was it last week or the week before? And he was talking about doing custom. He actually does videos where he carves the head. You know, he sculpts it, which is like ASMR. You know, it's like just awesome. But I don't have that level of skill. But he encouraged me by saying, yeah, sometimes I just buy, you know, a pre-made head off of eBay. I'm like, okay, good. I don't feel so bad. You know, so I do the same thing.
Hi, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
I love Maria. I love Maria so much.
She is the hardest person to pin down on a Friday, though. After her stream's done, she's usually so busy. But she is awesome. So especially this time of season, because the Mistress Vampira has returned for the holiday season.
Ooh, yes. Love me some Maria. Always.
So tell us a little bit about your channel, Arwyn. I mean, I know about your channel, but for those that might be tuning in that don't know.
I don't know what the hell do I say about my channel. Okay, to be fair, I'm a pop culture channel, but there's not a lot of pop culture on it. I mean, it is what it is. I have 3 shows. 4 now. Four.
You're a busy girl.
4. Okay. I've got my afternoon show, which I have not. I don't do it every week. I need to, but during the week it's been hard. I've had some other, you know, real life stuff going on that I've had to kind of square away with. But you know, normally Arwyn afternoon is what I do in the afternoons, either Tuesdays or Thursdays, and that's where I just talk about.
Right.
You gotta make me lose my train of thought. I don't know. I just started talking about my life and experiences. You know, I'm pretty. There are some things that I am private about, but for the most part, oh my God, Mary! Mary, hey, Mary, my bestie.
She was just talking about you a little bit ago.
I was when you teased Mark, and I was like, "Oh, you crazy fuckers! I love y'all so much." But yeah, you know, like I said, I've talked about my husband and his cancer and our experience with that. I've talked about, you know, my son, when he was 4, he walked out of the house and disappeared for 3 days. I talked about that. I mean, he was gone for almost 3 full days. We did not know where he was in the world. And let me tell you, talk about a harrowing situation.
I would imagine, yeah.
That sucked. And he was 4 at the time. And I think, thank God he was found safe and sound and everything was all right. But
yeah.
The thoughts that went through my head. But yeah, I just started talking about, I'm like, well, I had always said if I was going to do a YouTube channel, I was going to keep it real. And I was going to be the same person, on YouTube that I am off. So I've got that. I've got Arwyn After Dark that I do once a month. And I rotate that between the VacTube and Boujie Boozers.
Yep.
Which is an after-hour stream. So language and wine flows and adult subjects flow.
Salud. I'm with you.
Salud. Skull. But yeah, there's that one. Of course, I had Pink and Purple with Purple Valkyrie for a while. That was kind of the flagship show that launched my channel. Then we've got Shield Maidens. We do Shield Maidens every Monday. We started out with Rings of Power, and we will be doing other shows once that ends. Or once
you loving that show?
Rings of Power, bleh, but Shield Maidens, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I figured you love the show you're on. I mean,
Rings of Power sucks ass. I'm sorry, it does. It's awful. And I try to be fair. Okay, I have tried to watch this show, under the umbrella of Tolkien, and also as a standalone fantasy with nothing to do with Tolkien.
Sure.
Sucks ass in both ways.
Either way, it doesn't work. Yeah.
It's awful. And then Boujie Boozers, which we started last year. And that's, that was right now, the lineup for that is myself, Darth Arlena, Mary's Game Room or Mrs. Canuck, because she's got the 2 channels.
Yep.
And Eris Chaos. That's kind of the lineup for Boujie Boozers.
So now you got
I'm also part
as a guest host.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to actually start doing that. We're going to start having people on and come on and shoot the shit and just, have a good time. So, Troy, you'd be perfect for it.
I mean, getting to sit at the popular girls table, I don't know.
Oh,
okay.
Please. No, we are the island of lost toys. We are not the popular ones.
I can dig that.
Make our own popularity.
I can dig that.
I'm the weirdos, mister. We are the weirdo.
Yeah. So just if you wanna DM me a date and time, I'd be happy to. I'd love to. That'd be a lot of fun. But
and then I do Sugar and Spice with Arlena on her channel on Wednesday nights.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a lot of shows that I'm absolutely in love with. So,
and that's what I'm talking about. That interconnectivity, that networking. We grow together. It really is awesome. And I mean, where else could you have a group of friends in Florida and North Carolina and Chicago and New York and California? Yeah. I mean, this is just wonderful. And honestly, I mean, like, Big Al Presents, I hang out with him every week. I talk to him more than I talk to my family, for crying out loud.
I'm the same way. I was telling Loki today on his 2000K celebration stream, I said, if you ever have it's a wonderful life moment where you've ever wondered, what am I doing? And, what am I doing this for? And have I touched anything? Yes, I was. Yes, Joker Voice. I would love to come back. That was fun. I was a lot of fun. I said, you took this, lonely woman who had no one. I mean, yes, I had my children, I had my parents, but I mean, as far as my peers.
I know what you mean.
We all need our peers. We all need people we can confide in. And I didn't have that for a year and a half. I did not have that.
Yeah.
And I met, Mary and Mark and Daryl and Arlena and, Fat Steven. And I mean, these are people that I'm very, very close with. And I would do anything for, Loki and Eris and Project Storytime, which I call him Sensei. He's my sensei. I mean, these are connections that are more than just, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. They're my life's blood right now. And I do, Maria's one. She's in chat.
Yeah.
She is my spiritual advisor, which Maria, I need to call you. I need to call you. But yeah, I mean, these are connections that transcend the internet. They're real. Even though they are not here physically in front of me, they could not be more real or more important to me.
Yeah.
And
this
that's
is
what comes out.
this was one of the things that I was saying to Michael over at Retro Blasting, because he just had a video up recently. And if you're not subscribed to Retro Blasting and you are at all interested in toys of the 80s or, you know, even just general pop culture, his channel is definitely worth checking out. But he just recently was doing a video kind of thanking another YouTuber who was just very encouraging to him as he was dealing with some of the, you know, like I was talking about, taking a lot of flack from randos on the interwebs that are just jerks.
Yeah, and there are jerks out there.
And I said, you know, I totally get what you're saying. That particular video really resonated with me, not just as a YouTuber, but just as a human being, you know, the specific thing was, do you really need validation from other people? Yeah, I'm a human being.
You need
human
connection.
beings. Human beings need validation from each other. We are social
connection.
creatures.
Yes.
That's and acknowledging that doesn't make you weak. It just makes you a realist.
Yes.
You know?
Thank you.
And if you don't need that, you're probably an asshole. I mean, it's just that simple, you know?
And I'm a Gemini rising, and if y'all know anything about the zodiac, there's your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. I'm a Gemini rising, and we love to talk. We're the social butterflies. That your rising sign is how you present yourself to the world. It's how people receive you. That's me. And I'm like, you know, I was dying on the vine.
Do you feel like you are a natural extrovert?
Yeah, I do.
Really? Okay.
I do. Now, I do have my introverted moments.
Sure. Everyone does. Yeah.
But yeah, I am most comfortable when I am with a crowd of people, when I'm talking to them, when they are talking to me, when we are interacting, when we're socializing, when we're shooting the shit back and forth about whatever. That is where I'm in my element. Yeah. And when I don't have that, I wither. Just naturally, I wither. Because, you know, my kids are only going to listen to my bullshit for so long. You know, I was sitting in the car today. I picked up my son from work, and I'm yakking at him, talking. And he turned to me, and I turned to him, and I said, "Did you hear a word I said?" And he was like, "No, I'm just trying to chill." And I went, "Okay, 15 minutes of just yak out the window." I'm like, "Thanks a lot." So you know,
it sounds like a kid. Yeah,
we're talking peers. We're talking.
I get
peers.
that, and
yeah,
I'm going to shock my regular listeners, but I am not a natural extrovert. I really am not. I'm not. I have become an extrovert, but I wasn't born this way. My mother pushed me. She pushed me to join the Boy Scouts. She pushed me to go into theater. She pushed me to join band because the theater one was an interesting one. I didn't want to go for theater. I didn't want to. She said, "Look, theater's great. It's a great way to meet people, especially girls." I'm like, well, okay, you know? But then you meet all these girls and you're like, oh, well, I don't have a chance with any of these girls. They're all really, really cute, right? But all the guys around me are all gay. So I'm like, hey, I don't have any competition here.
A lot of them are in the theater. I was a theater major. I get that. Yeah, a lot of them are.
But, and I joke because that kind of led me to, I did, a lot of my viewers know I did a little teeny tiny bit of professional theater too. I was in the Music Man at a local dinner theater that's sadly no longer there, but it was good money I was in 8th grade at the time. I was in the ensemble boys band, and it was more than 3 times minimum wage. I was feeling pretty good about that. Yeah. I was fired up about that. I got my thespian card and everything, and you know,
good for you.
Couldn't go back to being an amateur. I was a professional, right? And this was before I got into high school and then started doing theater in high school. And I went to a Catholic grade school, so I was really, really, really good at memorization.
Oh, I
So
bet.
learning the lines was not a problem for me. I would show up for 2 dress rehearsals and boom, I had my lines down, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But which not everyone did. And I was always the one that was like, hey, I'll run lines with you. No problem. And
Nice.
I'd already like memorized their part and my part and and so I'm like,
Got it
here,
all
take me.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, theater was a great memory. I gotta have Sir Torrin Clegane back on, or even deleted scenes back on and talk theater again because that was a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But those were the things that that forced me to be extroverted. And so then after, I got married and we were in a church together, they do a lot of like, Bible plays and stuff like that. And they were always asking me to be in them. Oh, sure. No problem. And, I'd help with the costumes and stuff. And then, I'd get ready to go on stage and I get those butterflies. Those butterflies. Oh my God. Oh my God, what am I doing? And every single time I'd be like, I'm never doing this again. Why do I put myself through this?
Always got 'em.
Get out on stage and it just boom. You're just in the zone. Boom, no problem. Get off stage and then of course everyone's giving you the kudos afterwards. It's like, okay, yeah, this is why I keep doing it, so.
Yeah, well, theater was my major in college, so I
Really?
get it. I was going to be a professional actress.
What are some of the plays you were in?
Midsummer Night's Dream, I played Puck. My director decided to go for a chick Pucks. He cast me because he liked my laugh. He
Awesome. I can dig it.
And perfect for Puck.
I can dig it.
Okay. Yeah, Merry Wives of Windsor. Let's see. Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like. I did a lot of Shakespeare.
You did a lot of Shakespeare. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh my God. The Mystery of Edwin Drood. I played Edwin Drood. That was one of my favorite musicals ever. I loved that musical.
Interesting. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Music was my minor and theater was my major when I was in college.
Nice.
And when I got out, I got on with an agency in Atlanta. Thank you, PJ. I hate my laugh. I won't lie. I hated it for years. I struggled with it for years. And finally, I was like, what the hell? It is what it is. God gave me this laugh. I might as well use it. I mean, that's pretty much how it came about.
There you go.
But yeah, and I got on with an agency, did some bit parts and some commercials, extra work, nothing
Wow.
brag-worthy. And I was going to shift for another agency. They had a casting call for all these women. Thousands of women showed up, and there were 10 of us picked to talk to the agent at this other agency.
Wow.
And I was one of the 10. And I went in, and they were like, well, you're too short to model, because at the time, I'm 5'5", but at the time I was much slenderer, if that's a word. I've had children. It is what it is. It takes a toll on your body. But yeah, and
you know what? Don't.
It's true.
Don't disrespect the mom bod. I love the mom bod.
I've lost 72 pounds, but I got 30 more to go. Trust me, I've got a big goal here. But it is what it is. Hey. But she was like, well, I just don't know about you, and I just don't know. And she waffled, and I walked out of there thinking, what the hell? Why? Okay, whatever. And I discussed it with my husband, and he's like, well, he says, I'll support you, whatever you want to do, but we will have to move to Hollywood if you get on with this. We will have to, if that's your dream, we'll have to pursue it. And I really thought, and I prayed about it.
Yeah.
I prayed about it, and I'm like, is this really what I want to do?
Right.
Do I want to pursue a career in acting when there's a million incredible actresses on every street corner in Hollywood, waitresses and whatever. They're all out there. They're beautiful. They're talented. Do I want to get in that rat race, or do I just want to be happy?
Yeah.
And I decided I wanted to be happy. And I will never forget that day she called me. I was working. I was a makeup artist, and I was doing makeup freelance. And she called me, and she was like, well, I'm here to tell you what we've decided and the offer we have for you. And I stopped her. And I said, I want to thank you for your time, but I'm not interested. And she said, "You don't even want to know what we have to offer you?" And I said, "No, thank you, but I do appreciate your time."
Wow.
She said, "Okay." So I have no idea what the hell they were going to offer me to this day.
I'll tell you, from what I've heard from people that, are in
No
the
clue.
industry, sounds like you probably made a really good choice.
I think I did.
At least as far as the whole happiness thing goes. It's
Yeah.
I really feel like you're if you had heard how much it was for and gone with it because the number was good, it's kind of like selling your soul,
At the time, that's kind of how I felt, And we never really discussed children, but I think it was a year after that I got pregnant.
Yeah.
And and when my son was 2 going on 3, I had my daughter. So it was just, I don't know, these, and then we got involved in church at the time, and just all these string of events happened to lead me to my life now. I mean, do I have regrets? I do, but that's not one of them. That has never been. There have been times I've thought back and I've been like, I really wonder what she was going to say. But it's not a regret. It's just a curiosity. I've had more regrets in personal relationships where, I wish I hadn't said that, or I wish I had said that, or stuff like that we all go through. But that's never been a regret.
Kind of makes me wonder. Now, Netter, I know our regular viewers know about your cinema experience, but did you ever do any like stage theater?
Oh, when I was a kid, I did. I played Sally in the Peanuts.
Oh, really?
Nice!
Was that like a Good Man Charlie Brown?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like a local theater thing.
Nice.
So I got to play Sally in one thing, and I got to do that little skit where it's like, I'm telling Linus, you put your hand on the tail first. I put my hand on top of yours. Then you put your other hand on top of mine. Then I put my hand on top of yours. And it goes on and on and on. And then Lucy stopped by and says, "That's a great game. We should organize leagues."
It does sound like a Good Man Charlie Brown. I was in a variety show in grade school where I played Linus. I was. It was just the one song or that one segment from Good Man Charlie Brown called Clouds. So it was.
Yeah, I know that one.
And Linus has the great bridge. I see Mount Rushmore, Thomas and George waving at me. What do you see? And
I was a movie extra.
Yes, you were. Netter was in Red Heat.
Yeah.
Which she's not really seen. She's in a TV in the background.
And then Poltergeist 3.
Nice.
We did a rewatch on was it on your channel or on mine? We did a rewatch and I pointed out to everyone exactly where she was, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's Netter." But
like, if you ever watch the film, for those of you who don't know the story, if you watch Poltergeist 3, and there's the scene, the children all run down to get their ride to school, and when the aunt is coming back into the building, she's going up an escalator, and then she turns off into an art gallery. It's actually Green's luggage, but they faced it so it looks like an art gallery. I'm right behind her. I got short, dark brown hair. I'm wearing a pink long sleeve blouse, and I've got a black jacket over my arm.
Yep.
That is awesome.
So
yeah, it was fun.
Yep, I've never done any film work, but it's all been on stage.
And I was a Motorsports Unlimited girl.
She was.
Yes.
That was local cable access. That was the aspiring models, in
I had
bathing
this
suits.
Little tiny unitard.
Yeah.
With it was actually boys' small T-shirts, so that we looked bustier than we were. And we had feathers in our hair. Peacock feathers in our hair.
She was pretty smoking hot.
And then we would talk about motorsports, because they figured the whole shtick was people would be going through channels trying to find something to watch. They see these girls. And they go, wait, what? Those are girls. And then they'd be like, wait, they're talking about motorsports. And they keep watching because they want to hear us talk about Healy arc welding or TIG welding and, race cars and all this sort of thing. They're like, how do girls know this stuff? We're reading off a teleprompter.
Right. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So what musicals were you in, Arwyn?
Oh gosh, let me think. Oklahoma.
Where the winds
Like,
come sweeping down the plain. Awesome.
mm-hmm. That one, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Although that was in high school because I
That's a
went
good
to an
one.
all-girls Catholic school and I got to play the Pharaoh.
Why
I got
not?
to be Elvis, y'all, and I killed it. Okay,
I can imagine. I can see you doing Elvis.
I did. I was, gosh, what was I? think I was a sophomore in high school, and I freaking killed it.
You've kind of got a Winona Judd thing going on, and she does Elvis really, really well. You know.
Okay, yeah. So I got to be Pharaoh. What other music? Like I said, the Mystery of Edward Drood. Oh shit, loaded question. Now I can't think. There has to have been others. Like I said, I've done a lot of Shakespeare. That's all I can remember right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. For me, it was The Apple Tree. Do you know The Apple Tree?
I don't know that one.
It's based on The Apple Tree by Mark Twain. It's the story.
Okay.
It's the story of Adam and Eve.
Okay.
But it's a bunch of different stories. The first one is Adam and Eve. The second one is The Lady and the Tiger, and the third one is Passionella. It's kind of like a modern dress Cinderella story. I was the lion keeper in The Lady and the Tiger. Great story. And traditionally it's the same. It's supposed to be the same actor that plays the serpent in the Adam and Eve segment, but you know they want more people involved in a high school production.
Yeah.
So I was basically the understudy of the devil. So there you go. But and interestingly, because it is the same song with different words, so we basically were learning each other's part. And the idea behind, you've heard the story of The Lady and the Tiger. It's the story of the soldier who comes home. He's in love with the princess. They have a torrid affair. The king finds out about it, and as punishment, he's put into the arena where he's got to choose the door. The lady, a beautiful woman that he's got to marry that's not the princess, or a tiger, and he dies. And the princess doesn't want him to be killed, so she goes to the lion keeper to find out which door is going to have the lion behind it, so that she can tell her lover. And of course, as lion tamer, I tell her, Your Majesty, there's some knowledge that's best not to know. The temptation is too great. And so finally, the lion tamer tells her, whispers in her ear. Now then she goes into a song about what does she do with that information. Does she tell her lover so that he'll live, but live with someone else? Or, if I can't have him, no one can have him.
See, if that had been me, I just would have been behind the one door instead of the lady, and I would have told him to choose that door.
See, that whole Wonder Woman thing, right? Yeah, I dig that. That's right. That makes perfect sense. So
romantic.
So of course I whisper to her, and then she whispers to the soldier, and it ends with him deciding. You don't find out. It's open-ended, right?
Oh, I hate those. I'm sorry. I hate that.
I dig that. I dig that. So after the second, after the second performance, there was 3 performances. After the second, there was only 2 performances. So after the second performance, we weren't doing anymore. So the girl, Jenny Pons, I remember her name. She's the one who played the princess. She comes to me. She goes, look, every performance, whether it was, practice or the live performance, you always whispered in my ear. You say it's the left door, the right door, whatever. But you never said whether you were telling me it was the door that the lion was behind or the girl was behind.
Ah!
She said, so in your mind, which was it? I said, And then I just walked away.
No, I like everything wrapped up in a neat little bow and
All
tie.
right, that's okay. So
I don't want those open-ended shit.
I was in a creative writing class that same year that performance was going on. And the project was to read The Lady and the Tiger, which of course I'd already read. I was performing in it.
Yeah.
And then the assignment was to write a story that gives the ending, that tells you what was behind the door, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
So I wrote a story, and of course I used the names from the play and everything, and I kind of back up and fill the story in. And I said that the princess said which door, she was honest with him. He ends up getting married to her handmaiden. But then shortly thereafter, as a soldier, he's called away to war. So he leaves. And while he's gone off to war, she goes to kill her handmaiden. But she's caught red-handed when the soldier returns with his companions. And he can't cover up for her because there's others there. And she's brought before the king. And she ends up having to make a choice between two doors. And it's another...
Oh my God!
It's another open ending. I got an A+ on that one.
I bet you did. That's just shady.
Aren't I a stinker?
Yes, I don't like open-ended shit like that, but that's clever. That's smart.
I was like, no. I'll fulfill the spirit of it, but I'm gonna make sure that I don't. Yeah, I was not gonna leave it a closed ending. That was just crazy.
Bye, Joker. Bye, Mr. J. Bye, Mr. J.
Take care, Joker Voice. I will be seeing you in about a month or so. We've got a stream lined up. It's already there on my channel. You guys can go see who I've got guesting in the coming weeks. But by all means, and then of course Janet from another planet. She's a galaxy girl, but I'm not going to sing that song, or my channel's going to get taken down, or my stream's going to get. No, I'm serious.
I know, right?
I did that when she was on, and I had to take the stream down.
They will do it. They will nab you.
Yeah.
Nab you. But hey, Janet.
So anyway, so that's that's
clever.
Our theater background and whatnot. But my favorite, I think you're going to be able to relate to this. I played Jonathan Darling in Peter Pan.
Oh, did you really?
Yep. And
I love that play.
I wore the top hat and the glasses and the whole bit, and the same girl that was the princess in the apple tree was what's her name? My sister. Wendy. Thank you. Yeah, main character of the damn story. Yeah, Wendy. Right. So I don't know if you've ever seen the musical of Peter Pan.
Oh, I have.
Okay, so you know the song Tender Shepherd. It's a lullaby that mom comes in and sings to the children to put them to sleep. And she comes to each child and she kisses them on the head. So I'm on stage. It's opening night. I'm facing away from the audience. I'm trying to remember the name of the girl that played Mom. I can't remember. She comes around. She's leaning in to give me a kiss, and I look up at her and I go. But the audience can't see that.
Right.
She just sees me going, and she like smiles, pats me on the head, and I put my head back down, and I'm like, okay, that was a good recovery. I get off stage at the end of the song. And she just starts wailing on me. She's like, you almost made me break character. I'm like, yes, but you didn't. You are a consummate professional.
That's what it's about.
She didn't know what to do with that. She's like, well, I guess.
Don't break character and keep going. That's what it's about, because shit will happen on stage.
That was, yeah, that was the thing. Some of those thespians took it so seriously.
Oh my gosh, they did.
And I was like, I'm here to have fun. It's freaking high school, for crying out loud, you know? I mean, but
I did have a dream though. I wanted to eventually one day, perform to play the character of Eponine in Les Miserables. Not Fontaine, not Cosette, but I wanted to be Eponine. But I gave up acting altogether at that point, you know.
Man, I loved Les Mis. I had I don't
saw
remember
the original theater cast. I saw them, and then I saw it
on Broadway.
No, I was actually in London at the time. I saw it at the Wembley
The
Arena.
London cast.
The original London cast. I was living in England at the time. I saw that.
Wow.
Man,
man.
Then years later, when I moved back to the States, because I went to school over in England. Yeah, I went to high school.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when I moved back here in college, we went to Atlanta and we saw the touring Broadway cast.
So did you get to see Colm Wilkerson?
Yeah. Jean Valjean.
Wow.
Wilkerson as Jean Valjean on stage live right in front of me.
Let me tell you.
Alan
he was the only thing I liked about that movie. He was
that original cast. Okay, there are other casts that are good, but that original London cast cannot be beat.
No, I agree with you.
Ruffle as Eponine. Oh my God, what was her name? Now I can't remember her name. Who played? Oh God, she was actually the one. Patty. Gosh, what was her name? She played. I don't know. It's gone from me. Patty LuPone. LuPone.
Okay.
Not. She played Fantine.
Yeah.
She played Fantine, which I think actually she's American, isn't she? Or is she British?
I'm not sure now. Now you got me questioning.
She was in the original British cast. I mean, she was in the original London cast.
Man.
And she was amazing. Oh, Colm Wilkinson to this day. He is just...
Did you see the movie?
I did see the movie. He was in the movie.
He was. And
he was in the movie.
I am in flat out tears when I see him as the Bishop of Shani. They could not have cast that better.
Frances Ruffle was in the movie too. She played one of the whores.
Yeah.
She played one of the... But you know what? You know what is interesting about Hugh Jackman? Is the way he sings and the way he does his vowels and the way he presents. Mm-hmm. He reminds me a little bit of Colm Wilkinson. Not necessarily the way he sounds, but the way he projects, the way his words.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
If I refer to other roles he's played, not that one, because
no, not that one.
Honestly,
in The Greatest Showman.
Yes. Boy from Oz.
Yes. I'm like, okay, Hugh Jackman is what we call a legit talent, a legit voice. It's a legit voice. The man can sing, and he has got that musical vibe to him.
He's got an incredible voice, and that's why the movie just hurts my heart so bad.
I know. It hurt my heart too.
Because they did so many takes to the point that they ruined their voices, and the takes that they went with. I mean, there's whole videos on YouTube that just rip that thing apart, and rightly so, you know?
Yeah.
But I have heard Hugh Jackman and who's the gal that played Fantine? She played Catwoman. She played Devil Wears Prada. Hathaway. Anne Hathaway. They did a duet from Les Mis at some other performance, and it was just beautiful. Both of them. Just beautiful. You know? So I'm like, that is the singing we wanted in Les Miserables. And then to find out that the same bloke went ahead and did the Cats movie, I'm like, that explains a lot. You know.
Don't get me started on the Cats movie. What the hell was that mess?
Nightmare fuel. That's what that was. That was nightmare fuel.
Okay, when the stage costumes surpass what they were able to do in the film, why the hell didn't they just put them in the stage costumes?
I'm telling you, girl. Back in the 80s, growing up seeing those commercials and whatnot for Cats, I kind of understand the whole furry thing these days. I'm just saying. You know, those girls, those dance outfits, let me just tell you,
But they look like cats. The way they made them look in the film, it was this weird morphing. I was like, no, when it's better on stage and the costumes look better on stage, y'all need to take a clue out of that. And deleted scene says pretty sure she's American. I think she is too, but she played the original Fantine in London. She was perfect for the role. She was the quintessential Fantine. So good. And she also played, interesting enough, Edwin Drood on Broadway. So she was kind of my idol for Edwin Drood when I played Edwin Drood.
And just
not on Broadway. Not on Broadway.
And just like Colm Wilkerson as Jean Valjean, no one plays Grisabella like Elaine Page.
Elaine Page. Oh,
she breaks my heart with memory.
Yes.
You know, there is, I don't know if you've seen this, Arwyn, but there is a, I think it was on PBS. They did a production of Cats back in the 90s.
Yeah, where they filmed it? Where they actually
filmed
it and released the video? Yeah.
It was like they were filming it on stage, but then there was special effects and all that kind of stuff.
I've got that, actually.
Do you? I do too. I do too. And I am in tears when Elaine Page sings Memory.
It's just
that movie was just, I didn't even see the whole movie. I've only seen clips of it. It was just horrible.
Why the hell did they cast Dame Judi Dench as Deuteronomy? Can you tell me that?
I have no idea.
Excuse my French, but what the fuck? She is not Deuteronomy. We want a big black man as Deuteronomy.
Right.
Deuteronomy.
Because you need that rich baritone.
Give me, yes, somebody just not. I'm sorry. That triggered me. So when people start that bullshittery about, well, you just racist because you don't want this person, this or that. No, we need a big black man doing Deuteronomy.
Right?
James Earl Jones, somebody is Deuteronomy because that's who he is. That is Deuteronomy, y'all. I was so triggered over that. I was like, no, that's not my Deuteronomy.
Does James Earl Jones sing? Because I could totally see him.
I don't know, but if he doesn't, he needs to or somebody like that.
Right, right.
Just that rich, like you said, that rich baritone and that swagger and that presence. You need Deuteronomy to snap your attention and go, that is their leader. That is the Jellicle Cats leader right there, Deuteronomy.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here with Dame. No, I'm sorry. Just not happening.
No, I'm so glad for that DVD, that so PBS thing, because otherwise I never would have seen it.
Yeah.
Unlike Les Mis and Phantom, that was in Chicago like constantly forever, we would only get Cats for like a week at a time with no notice, and it would be
okay.
And I was in high school at the time, so it was hard to save up that kind of money. And by the time I saved up the money, it was already gone. So there was no way I was going to get to see Cats. I saw
Cats at the Fox Theater, and I loved it. The Fox Theater in Atlanta is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw Phantom a couple times, but I got to see Michael Crawford. Not specifically as the Phantom, but he was in the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And when I was dating that one right over there, she took me to see it, so I got to see him. Oh man, that guy, he sings with his hands just so beautifully.
He sings the way Gene Kelly dances, effortlessly.
Yes, it
absolutely. Just comes out, and it's like, did you know who played one of the Phantoms that I didn't know until fairly recently? Paul Stanley from Kiss played the Phantom.
Really?
Yes, he did.
I could totally see that.
He played the Phantom in one. I don't know if it was on Broadway or off Broadway, but he played one of the professional Phantoms. And I'm
nice.
Like, okay,
nice.
I
can
Paul
dig it.
Stanley from Kiss.
Have you seen what's his name? The Hoff, Knight Rider.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Have you
Yeah.
seen him in Jekyll and Hyde?
No, I
Look into it. It's on DVD. You can get it.
I will.
He does this really great thing where he, you know how they do these stage productions. It's not about makeup and effects. It's about, you know, subtle things. And there's this thing that he does where he has his hair pulled back in like a ponytail, and at one point he lets part of it down so that on his right side he's Hyde and on his left side he's Jekyll, and he's turning left and right, and it's that whole Gollum kind of thing, you know, where he's like having an argument with himself in a song. I mean, if you can imagine like the duel from Les Miserables, except one person doing it, you know. It's like oh my gosh, this is just, and he does it very, very well. It's worth checking out. But wow, we've kind of gotten, I didn't realize we were going to go into musical theater like this tonight.
All right, but I have to explain something to the deleted scenes real quick, because he says no one has ever been able to explain the plot to Cats to me. Now I realize it's because there isn't one. Actually, there is.
There is. Let her say it, and then I'll tell you the funny version.
Yes, it's based off of T.S. Eliot's Book of Cats. It was originally a book of poems that they took, Andrew Lloyd Webber took and made the musical Cats. There are a group of cats called the Jellicle Cats. That's who they are. They're known as the Jellicle Cats. Deuteronomy is their leader. And once a year, they choose a cat to ascend basically to what we would call the Rainbow Bridge, to go to kitty heaven, one who is worthy enough. And their whole goal, their whole life is to be worthy enough to be chosen that year to go to heaven, or kitty heaven, or whatever you want to call it. That, in a nutshell, is the plots. And then it introduces you to all the different cats and all the different contenders to get chosen by Deuteronomy, because he's like, you know, their holy man, if you will.
Well, but they're not just really going to heaven. They want to be born again into a new Jellicle life.
Right. Because cats have 9 lives, y'all.
Right.
Cats have 9 lives.
But apparently, if you're a Jellicle cat, you got to earn those lives or whatever. You got to earn it.
So, yeah.
And
it just introduces you to all the different cats.
And so basically, the whole plot is you've got a whole bunch of cats auditioning for the opportunity to die. That's the whole plot.
I kind of want, my vote was for Gus the theater cat, because he was so old.
That one also brings a little bit of a tear to my eye. You know?
I would sing some of it, but I don't want you to get,
I forget the name of the, name of the gent that played him in the PBS production, but he, as he's walking, he's got that jittery kind of, you know.
I know Ian McKellen plays him in the movie.
And I can kind of, and I can kind of see that too.
Because he's got the palsy. He's got the palsy.
Yes, exactly. And it's just, it's that whole, I remember what it was like when I was younger, and you young folks just can't possibly understand it. Now that I think about it, it's a lot of what Aged Boomer and I pretty much talk about every Sunday. But anyway.
And then you got the bad cat McCavity, who comes out to tries to thwart it.
Yeah.
Because he's the bad cat. He wants to go. He doesn't want anyone else to go, so he tries to kidnap all the cats. And I got a million cats running around here, so I can kind of relate to, the Jellicle cats. They have all their names, and oh yeah, I loved it. The first time I ever saw it was on stage at the Fox Theater, and I loved it. Yeah.
But I never would have believed it until I saw Cats. Leotard is actually sexier than a bikini now, in my mind.
Sometimes it's about what you don't see than what you do see. Although some leotards do leave little to the imagination, but still, I like to think he's just a fat gamer.
And just so you know, she did.
Don't derail him. He's fine.
She started the stream telling me that you said hi. So thanks.
Stop. Yeah, the Global Sashas was born on Maria's, and that was clipped, and that kind of propelled me into infamy.
I've been talking about you the last couple streams, kind of picking on you about changing your name. It seems like every other week. It was Fat Steven Seagal, then it was Justice Fat Stevens. Now it's just a Fat Gamer. What'll it be next week? Who knows? We'll see.
He's always
subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll find out when he changes his name. You know, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. Anyway.
Oh, deleted scenes, not my Deuteronomy.
Damn it, not my Deuteronomy either, deleted scenes. Hell no. No, not my Deuteronomy. Dame Judi Dench, fuck off. Not my Deuteronomy.
Judi Dench isn't my Deuteronomy.
No, she's not. And she played all this coy and I'm like, man, just no,
you gotta
Deuteronomy.
see.
No.
This is the thing. You got to accept these people take the roles and they do the best with what they're given.
They do.
But sometimes they're casting people because they are a name, not because they have the right.
Yeah, and I don't hold it against her. She's a working actress. She's got a bigger coin like everybody else.
Absolutely.
I blame the producers and the directors.
Absolutely. What the hell were you thinking? Yeah.
They were, scoping in on my wokeness. We got to have a chick in the lead role. Well, no. You need a big black man to be Deuteronomy.
Yes.
That's who he's always been. That's what we want.
Yes, you already, decided you wanted to race swap Grisabella, and how did that work out for you?
Give us, anyway. So I wish James Earl Jones could.
Well
she didn't. No, because it's not meant to be sung in that particular style. It doesn't have the emotional impact. And there's so many other subtle things that they changed that really leeches away the gravitas of Grisabella's character. I mean, you care about Grisabella when Ellen Page just wants somebody to touch her and show her a little bit of, I almost said human kindness, kitty kindness, whatever. And compassion.
And old Deuteronomy buried 9 wives. So what?
Yeah.
Is Deuteronomy a lesbian now? Did they change the lines? I can't remember. I mean, that's how little I remember about the movie. I just could not care less.
I don't know.
No. I'm sorry. Anyway.
And I made it all the way through all this talk about cats without one single pussy joke. Isn't that good?
You want to sleep on the couch tonight? Oh, we do have a guest.
I guess I didn't quite make it, did I?
Got enough of them running around here, so I'm sure it's inevitable. Look, even Starbucks like, I'm checking out, Mama.
Like, okay, you humans are weird. I'm done.
He hasn't moved. He's like, I'm done.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
So what do you have coming up in the near future on your channel that you might want to hype and talk about?
Okay. Well, we started Shield Maidens a couple of weeks ago. Which right now it's Darthlina and I, and we've got Starry-Eyed Girl and Louise Sparrow. Hey, Catman. And we are currently suffering through Rings of Power, but that only has 2 more episodes left. After that, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but the whole point of Shield Maidens is to kind of preserve and look at the lore of the IPs as they were, and to kind of see where they have come. And then there will be more, more Arwyn Afternoon, more Arwyn After Dark, more Boujie Boozer. And Arlena and I have talked about it, and we're going to start dual streaming Sugar and Spice on her channel and on mine. We're going to dual stream it the same night. So
interested in a suggestion? Shield Maidens, reach out to Nerd Cookies.
Okay.
If you can get her as a guest, that would be awesome.
Oh, thank you for that.
She would be great.
Yeah, we are going to have guests on, and just
when it comes to knowing the lore, she knows the lore.
Nice.
She really does. And I've said it. Everybody that I talk to agrees with me. She's got this voice. Let me tell you, girl, it's not ASMR, but it's ASMR,
Okay.
Let me just tell you.
ASMR Nerd Cookies.
She's just the cutest little thing, too.
Yeah.
She is cute. She is cute. I agree.
But good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on other people's channels, kind of
like this one.
I've been on Loki's. I'm on his Friday morning shows again. We're doing Rings of Power. I'm on
Loki is good people. Yes.
Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm on Eris's. I'm on T-shirted Historians. Sometimes I'm playing Fortnite with Just a Fat Gamer. Fat Steven. I mean, I'm kind of all over. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm loving it. I'm enjoying
I can't. And see, Age of Boomer tries to get me to play more video games. I'm just not that kind of a gamer, the online type of against other people type gamer. I play 2 games. I play Star Trek Online, and I play The Sims. That's it.
The Sims?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? I used to play that.
And a lot of people kind of there's a huge community of YouTubers that just do The Sims 4. And they're like, The Sims 4 isn't as good as The Sims 3 because Sims 3 was open world and Sims 4 is like a dollhouse. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like a dollhouse, but, there's mods that you can do. And, there's cool and interesting ways that you can kill your Sims or, causes them to do all sorts of adult type things that should not be in a teen game.
Yeah, there are. I've seen some of those. My husband used to play The Sims, and I'm like, what the hell? But you know what?
Oh, for crying out! Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, my theory behind video games is this. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. If you do enjoy it, who the hell cares what anybody else thinks? Play it. You're the one who has to play it. Enjoy it.
But here's what's funny. When I started with The Sims, it was like Sims 2, Sims... Well, actually, I've played all the different incarnations of The Sims. Mm-hmm. But in Sims 3, it was the best because it really was an open world. And what I would do is I would create Sims homes and communities based on my favorite TV shows. So I had the Charmed house with the girls and the guys and and that Victorian house and everything. Yeah. Little known trivia, the house that was the Charmed house right next door that house was used in a show called, damn it, now I don't remember, but it was a time travel show. And the guy that lived there lived right next door to the Charmed house. So I had him living in that house and whatnot. And I created P3, the nightclub and all that kind of stuff.
Is that the one with the kid in the Omni thingy?
No, that was Voyager. No, it was more recent.
You think it's Quantum Leap?
It wasn't Quantum Leap, and it wasn't 7 Days either, but it was at the same time that 7 Days was on.
It was a TV show?
It was a TV show. I want to say Millennium, but I don't think it was Millennium. I don't remember. But anyway, I had Smallville. So I had, Clark and Lois and Lex and all of them. And I can't remember what else I did. But yeah, I just thought that was... And then I saw somebody had made like the Friends from the show Friends. And I was like, nah, they wouldn't be as interesting to me. So I never created that. But yeah, so I've created all of those. And yeah, I what is...
Outlander?
No, that's...
Timeless?
I love Outlander. Travelers? I love that show.
No.
Let's see what else comes up.
Is there one called Millennium?
Fringe.
Fringe was a good one too.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I got that. So that's the extent of my gaming, which doesn't make for good streaming content. Even though there are,
as long as you enjoy it,
there are YouTubers out there that do stuff with The Sims. It's not my thing. I just can't see. No, but that was a good one too.
We're all trying to figure out what it was.
And see, if I had a community tab, I need 20 more subscribers in order to get myself a community tab. If I had a community tab, I could, put out a post and tell you guys when I figure out what it is. Because after the stream, I'm going to go and, start looking. So you better be following.
Remember in the middle of the night, when you remember, tweet it out.
Yeah, I'll tweet it out. Follow me on MeWe too. I'll put it in the group. I got the links all down below, so make sure you do all those things, and I'll figure it out.
Torchwood.
Wasn't Torchwood. That was a good one, too. I love
Here's
that.
Jupiter. Say,
Aw.
hey, baby. This is Jupy.
Drops of Jupiter.
He's my boy.
How sweet.
Sweetie.
He's my sweet boy. They're all over the place. Trust me.
No, it wasn't First Wave. Was Millennium, was it a time travel show? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll figure it out.
You'll remember.
Somebody look up
Future Man?
what show was the house next door to Charmed or something like that.
Google it, y'all. Google's your friend.
Well, I Googled time travel TV show, and it gave me a list of popular.
A whole
time
list
travel
of shows. Yeah, there's a lot of
bet,
shows
I
about
bet.
time
But
travel.
there are a bunch that I can discard, like Doctor Who and The Flash.
Yeah, you know those.
Okay,
Oh,
Millennium
I don't
had a
even think of The
crossover with
Flash as a time
X-Files.
travel show, even though I guess it is.
All right, I have to hang on. My curiosity. Okay, time travel show.
All right, we're gonna do
Hang
this thing,
on.
aren't we?
Next to Charmed House. Let's see.
I don't suppose you remember any of the
Time
actors.
travel, charm fandom, Hollywood Manor. All right, no, that's not telling me anything. That's not telling me.
Farscape?
No,
It's
I
not
didn't even
telling
know
me.
that one was. There's a lot of great pictures of that house, and let me tell you something.
That's a
I have
great
studied
house.
that Hollywell Manor. I
love
have the floor plans. I've built that in every version of the Charmed. I mean, in every version of The Sims.
Sims.
Okay, how long ago was the TV show?
It was about the same time Charmed was.
Charmed was what, early 90s?
Okay.
Was it early 90s?
19.
Midnight? I don't know. I started watching it way after it started, so.
Okay, for that I come up
Journeyman?
with Stargate, 7 Days, Early
Stargate.
Edition. Oh, that was it. Early Edition, I think.
No,
No?
it wasn't early edition.
But that was a good show. Sliders,
Sliders.
Time Tracks,
It wasn't Time
Farscape.
Track, Farscape.
I'm telling you, you're gonna remember. Not Farscape. You're gonna remember at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna be.
I
like,
probably
oh,
am.
yeah.
Journeyman, that's it. Thank you.
I know that.
Thank
show,
you.
Journeyman. Yes, Journeyman. I didn't realize though it was next to the Hollywood House. Like it's been years.
Yes, the
I've
house
seen
was
it.
literally. So if you're looking at the Hollywell
Journeyman.
Manor, it's the house to the left of it.
Yes.
It looks almost the same. It's just a different color.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stephen. Yes. It will drive me nuts. Well, I wasn't even making Sims things out of it. It was gonna drive me nuts. Awesome.
Thank you, Stephen. That's yeah.
We could
that
all
one.
sleep well tonight knowing it was Journeyman.
Yep. That's one I got to see if it's out on DVD because I really did enjoy that show. That was a good
That
one.
was a good one. That was a good one.
But
Journeyman, I'll look.
yeah, Nobody's gonna look for me. But anyway, yeah, I know we do have to at least for your sake because you have. Do you have another stream that you're going to, or what are you up to?
No, I've got some things I've got to
That's-
get up early
that's
in the morning.
fine.
I gotta
That's
do.
fine. I was
In case you haven't noticed, we own a lot of physical media.
yeah,
You do. That's
we totally
awesome.
dig the physical media.
We
So
have over 1,000 movies.
it's funny because right up here I got all the CDs. You just can't really see them. I got all
That's
the
awesome.
music, but yeah, I figured if you were going to be on another stream, I wanted to put up the link or send people over or whatever.
No,
But
not tonight.
so just make sure down below in the description is the link for Arwyn Avalon's channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. And when you go see her during one of her live streams, say, "Hey, I saw you on Troy's channel," so that I kind of feel like I've contributed a little bit. That makes
You
me feel good.
have. Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me on. This has been so much fun. I've been looking forward to this. I really have.
See, this is what I mean. So encouraging. I super appreciate you saying
I've
that.
had a blast. I
Because
have.
and this is on. I say this to everyone, but it's true every single time. I feel like I got one of the popular kids to come hang out with me for a little bit. That's how I feel.
Island of Lost Toys. That's who we all are. That's just who we all are. Island of Lost Toys.
I totally dig it. I totally dig it.
Yep. We are all one, so.
But so are you telling me this is another one of those shows that we stole from the Brits? Now I got to go check that one out. I'll tell you what. Life on Mars. Life on Mars is another really good one that's worth checking out. But check out both the British version and the American version. Very different shows. Mm-hmm. There's this great bit in the American version. Harvey Keitel plays the chief of police, and the main character who's traveled back in time is hearing. He's back in the 70s, and he's hearing these the details about this murder that's happened, and it was a gay guy that got killed. He was beaten to death, and he goes, sounds like a hate crime. And Harvey Keitel looks at him and goes, what are you talking about? As opposed to what? Like an I really, really like you crime?
Yeah, they're all hate.
And I was like, I started laughing at that so hard. I was like, oh, that's freaking brilliant, right?
And Dee Myers is right. Misfit Toys. The island of misfit toys. That's what we are. That's what we all are. Come together. We're the island of misfit toys. No one is no more misfit than the other.
Absolutely.
No less, I should say.
I guess I'm a Troy in the box, you know?
There you go.
I'm a Troy in the box. And I'm okay with that. I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, no, I thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me. And I do tend to lurk on people's channels. I don't always make myself known, but I'm there. I'm hanging around, and sometimes I catch you later after you're not live. So.
Well, thank you for having me, Troy Netter. It has been a pleasure. It really has, and I've enjoyed this so much. I want to do it again. I do. I had fun.
Absolutely.
And I'm about done with my wine, so it was perfect timing.
You're about out of your wine. You got to go get a refill, so that's what you really... you schedule the whole thing around. Let's see. I can get through a 2-hour show with a bottle of wine, and when that's over, I'm got to leave the show so I can go get another bottle of wine.
Here we go. Here's the result of the barefoot empty.
I'm still on the same snifter, so...
Oh, no. Well, to be fair, I started a little while ago, so I started back during Loki's stream, so I've kind of just been sipping through the night.
You got to pace yourself. That's how this has to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, Arwyn. Take care.
Oh, y'all, love y'all, and have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, what do we got coming up this week? We got, let's start with tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we're over on your channel. What are we doing tomorrow night on your channel, Netter?
We are going to be watching, I keep thinking of the Spanish words in my head.
The Book of Life.
Thank you. I'm like, what's it called? I got the movie behind
Book
me.
of Life.
Book of Life. And I'm going to have 2 special guest hosts, along with, of course, my wonderful husband, Troy, and Big Al Presents.
Yep.
I'm going to also have Polly, the Latino slant, and Mikey, the Mexican Iron Man, as my special guest host.
Yep.
Since this is, what do you call it, Mexican Heritage Month?
Yep.
I think is what they call it.
Yep.
We can get some of the background to the heritage and what all of this means.
Talk about the Dia de los Muertos and get it directly from the cultural source. Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, I love the movie and I'm fascinated by it. So it's like, I'm actually curious how true to the culture is it really? I mean, I'm sure they took some licenses.
Absolutely. Hey, William Jackson, I'm sorry you missed Arwyn. You're going to have to rewind to see what happened. We're kind of winding down now, but I so appreciate you stopping by. We're kind of going through what we got coming up in the next week. So yes, tomorrow night on Netters Network, link in the description. We will be watching Book of, and on these rewatches on Netters Network and on Big Al Presents, I provide a link to Cosme so that you can watch along with us if you don't have your own copy, but you should really own physical media. Sunday's going to be a little bit of a change for us because, as I said, Boomer is, incommunicado right now because of the hurricane. Is it Ian or Ivan or whatever it is? Ian.
So I get to play the part of Boomer.
Yeah, so Netter will be co-hosting some sort of Geeky Geezers analog. You know, the Pacellis do Geeky Geezers, or the Geeky Pacellis. I don't know, something. We'll figure it out before Sunday. We'll still bring you the geeky news, but it'll be, I guess, on my channel, so it'll be right here. And that is Sunday. Tuesday, we were going to be over on Mr. Matchstick's channel, where we would be talking about the second season of Legion of the Superheroes, but we decided we were going to put it off another week because Boomer, you know. Seriously, it's a bad scenario for him, so we're really hoping things work out for him.
Yeah, please pray for everyone that's in Florida having to endure the hurricane. I've been praying for minimal damage to homes because some of the pictures I've seen, the damage has been really, really bad. So it's like, just pray for everyone that they're all okay and, you know, there's minimal damage. And
I don't know if Big Al is still out there, but I'm kind of wondering if he knows what's going on Wednesday over on Soundtracks with Birdman. It's either him or Boomer that usually tells me what's going on Wednesday. And
yeah, I just know that Big Al is going to be on it. I just don't know what they're discussing.
There you go.
It's a movie. They're going to be discussing a movie. I don't remember which movie though.
Kind of figured, but yeah. So check out Soundtracks with Birdman. There will be a rewatch on Wednesday night with Big Al Presents, and if Boomer is back by then, Boomer would probably be there too, but I can't make any promises. And then that brings us around to next Friday, where I will be I will have another guest, and it will be Brandon, the anime guy. And I'm really, really, really hoping that Age of Boomer is going to be here, because I know he's a big anime fan, and I think he and Brandon would get along really, really well. I know nothing, so if anything, it's going to be an education for me on anime. So there we go. And that's the week in review.
And then this Saturday, do you know what Big Al is going to be showing?
Yes, I do. I just don't remember. So just let me check my chat, because I know he sent it to me. It is a movie called Grizzly from 1976, which I think I saw back in the 70s, but I have no flippin' memory of. You know, it's one
confused with Grizzly Adams.
Not to be confused with Grizzly Adams, which I did see in the theater. Back in the 70s, TV shows used to have their pilots released in theaters as feature films first. And
what was confusing is you had Grizzly Adams and Jeremiah Johnson, and they're showing at the same time, so it was easy to confuse the two.
Yeah.
And I saw them both.
So that's what we've got in the coming weeks. Netter, last words?
Well, you know, I always say that we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well and good and fine, but it's so much more fun when you guys are engaging with us. You're dropping comments in the chat and trivia and questions and all that, and just, you know, having that time with us, because it feels more like you're with us rather than just in a chat.
Yep.
And you're not just friends to us. To us, you're family. We love you guys, and we thank you for being here with us.
Yep, and I super appreciate everyone that came to see Arwyn tonight. I hope if you're new here, I've earned a subscription from you. You know, if I haven't, I hope you come back and give me another chance. Real excited. I've just hit 480. That means I'm 20 subscriptions away from that, for me, very coveted community tab. And I intend to make a lot of use out of that, because for me, this community is way more important than any kind of monetization or anything like that. So,
and Deleted Scenes has been dropping links to everybody's channel in the chat. You know, if there's somebody you're not subscribed to, please subscribe to them. I'm like something like 30 away from 200.
Yep.
So it's like, I'd love to hit that 200 mark, because if I do, or when I do, I should say, not if, but when I do, I'm going to have a live stream, and I'm going to draw a name from whoever's in my chat, and I'm going to give a gift.
Don't know what it is yet, but it'll be
No,
something.
I know what it is, but
Oh, I don't know what it is. She hasn't
you don't
told
know
me.
what it is, but
She hasn't told me yet.
and it's it's something that pretty much everyone can use. So it's like, a special gift.
And down in the description, of course, Netters and Age of Boomers and Arwyn Avalon's links all below. But also, I've got the links to my Discord. By all means, come join me on Discord. If you have a channel, come to my Discord and drop a link when you're going live so that people know about it. Also, I've got a group on MeWe for Friday Night Last Call where we can keep the conversation going throughout the week. Don't remember if I shared my Twitter there too, but I got to remember to do that. I'm on Twitter, so you can follow me there too. And let's hang out between shows. But again, thank you so much. Salud. I super appreciate every single one of you. I know that all the YouTubers say that, but I don't think you realize how encouraging it is when you guys come to hang out with us. Take care, y'all.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.